Comments below. Samantha stood by the window of her cozy apartment, sipping her morning coffee and watching the world wake up. It had been a year since her divorce from Tom, and while the initial pain had faded, the memories still lingered. She had spent months rebuilding her life, focusing on her career and nurturing her passions. As a freelance graphic designer, Samantha enjoyed the flexibility of her job, but she often found herself missing the companionship she once had. She had hoped that time would heal her wounds, and in many ways it had. Yet there were still moments when she felt a pang of nostalgia for the life they had shared. One sunny afternoon, while scrolling through her phone, Samantha noticed a message from a mutual friend, Jenna. "Hey, Sam. Tom is back in town. He wants to catch up with you. Are you open to it?" The message sent a jolt of surprise through her. Samantha's heart raced as she considered the possibility of meeting Tom again. Their relationship had ended amicably, but the thought of facing him stirred up a whirlwind of emotions. After a few moments of contemplation, she replied to Jenna, "I'm open to it. Let's see how it goes." The next few days were filled with anticipation and anxiety. Samantha found herself revisiting old memories. Those moments of laughter, the plans they had made, and the reasons they had ultimately parted ways. She had grown so much since their separation, but she couldn't shake the curiosity about what Tom had to say. When the day arrived, Samantha chose her outfit carefully, opting for a casual yet put-together look. She arrived at the cafe where they had agreed to meet, her heart pounding as she walked through the door. Tom was already there, sitting at a corner table, with a warm smile that brought back a rush of memories. He had changed in some ways. His hair was a bit longer and he looked more relaxed. As she approached, he stood up and greeted her with a hug. "Wow, it's been a while," he said, his voice filled with genuine warmth. "You look great, thanks, Tom." "It's good to see you," Samantha replied, taking a seat across from him. They spent the first few minutes catching up on each other's lives, sharing stories about work, travel, and mutual friends. Samantha felt a mix of nostalgia and relief as they reminisced about the good times. But as the conversation deepened, she could sense an underlying tension. Tom's gaze lingered on her, and she wondered if he was feeling the same pull of emotions. After some time, Tom shifted in his seat, his expression turning serious. "I wanted to reach out because I've been doing a lot of thinking since our divorce." He began, his voice steady but tinged with vulnerability. "I realize now that I didn't fully appreciate what we had." Samantha's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" she asked. Her curiosity piqued. "I think I took you for granted. I was so focused on my career that I didn't prioritize our relationship. I missed the connection we had," he admitted, looking down at his coffee cup. Samantha felt a rush of conflicting emotions. Part of her wanted to defend the reasons for their separation, while another part longed for the connection they had shared. "Tom, we both made choices that led us here. I needed to focus on myself too," she replied gently. "I understand that now. I've been working on myself, trying to be more present and aware. I just wanted you to know that I regret how things ended." He said, his eyes meeting hers with sincerity. As the conversation continued, Samantha felt a mixture of nostalgia and uncertainty. She appreciated Tom's honesty, but she also knew that rekindling their relationship was fraught with complications. "Where do we go from here?" she asked, her heart racing at the prospect of reopening old wounds. "I'm not asking for anything drastic. I just wanted to reconnect and see if we can be friends." Tom replied, his expression hopeful. "I value you in my life, and I'd like to explore that." Samantha considered his words. She had spent so long establishing her independence, but a part of her missed the companionship they once had. "I think friendship could be nice, but it will take time," she said cautiously. Tom nodded in agreement, absolutely. "I just wanted to be honest about my feelings." As they left the cafe, Samantha felt a sense of uncertainty wash over her. She had enjoyed their conversation, but the road ahead was unclear. Over the next few weeks, Samantha and Tom began to rebuild their friendship. They met for coffee, went for walks, and shared updates about their lives. It felt comfortable and familiar, yet there was an unspoken tension that lingered beneath the surface. Samantha was cautious in her approach. She cherished their friendship, but was wary of the emotions that could resurface. Tom was making a genuine effort to be a better person, and she found herself appreciating the changes he had made. But could they truly move past their history? One evening, while they were watching a movie together, Tom turned to her. "I really enjoy spending time with you, Sam. It feels good to have you back in my life." He said, his voice sincere. "I feel the same way," she replied, her heart fluttering. "But we have to be careful. We can't ignore our past." As their friendship deepened, Tom invited Samantha to a gathering with his friends. She hesitated but ultimately decided to go, wanting to support him. When she arrived, she was greeted with warmth and laughter, and she quickly found herself enjoying the atmosphere. However, as the night progressed, Samantha noticed Tom interacting with one of his friends, a woman named Claire. They were laughing and sharing stories, and Samantha felt a pang of jealousy she hadn't anticipated. "What's wrong, Jenna?" a mutual friend asked as she joined Samantha at the bar. "I don't know. I guess I didn't expect him to be so comfortable with someone else." Samantha admitted, her voice tinged with insecurity. Jenna raised an eyebrow. "Do you still have feelings for him?" Samantha sighed, contemplating her answer. "I thought I was over it, but seeing him with someone else makes me question everything." The next day, Samantha decided to confront her feelings. She called Tom and suggested they meet. When they sat down, she took a deep breath. "Tom, I need to talk about last night," she said, her heart racing. "Okay." "What's on your mind?" he asked. Concern etched on his face. "When I saw you with Claire, it stirred up feelings I thought I had moved past," she admitted. "I didn't realize how much I still cared." Tom's expression softened. "I had no idea you felt that way. I'm really just trying to figure things out myself. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I know and I appreciate that you're trying. But I think we need to be honest about what we want," Samantha said, her voice steady. As they continued talking, Samantha and Tom explored their feelings together, navigating the complexities of their past and present. They discussed their hopes for the future and what it meant to be friends. "I want you to be happy, whether it's with me or someone else." Tom said, his eyes sincere. "But I can't pretend that I don't want to explore what's between us." Samantha felt a surge of emotions as she considered his words. "I want to be happy too, but I need to know that we're both ready for that." Our history is complicated. Tom nodded, understanding her hesitation. Let's take our time. I don't want to rush into anything. But I also don't want to lose this connection. Over the following weeks, Samantha and Tom continued their friendship, slowly rekindling the bond they once shared. They took things one step at a time, allowing their relationship to evolve naturally. One evening, while they were walking in the park, Tom stopped and turned to her. "You know, I'm glad we're taking this slow. I want to do it right this time," he said, his eyes filled with sincerity. Samantha smiled, feeling a warmth in her heart. "Me too. I think we can create something beautiful if we're patient." As they stood together, the air filled with possibility. Samantha realized that navigating their past didn't have to mean avoiding the future with open communication and honesty. They could build a foundation for a new relationship, one rooted in respect and understanding. As she stood at her window one evening, watching the sunset paint the sky with hues of orange and pink, Samantha reflected on her journey. Over the past year, she had learned to navigate her emotions and confront her past, and she felt a sense of empowerment in her choices. Tom had been a steady presence in her life, and their friendship had blossomed into something beautiful. They often shared their days, supported each other's ambitions, and enjoyed the simple pleasures of life together. The connection they had rekindled was genuine and deep. And for the first time in a long while, Samantha felt truly content. One weekend, Tom suggested they take a trip to the mountains for a little getaway. "It'll be fun, just us, nature, and some time to relax." He proposed, his enthusiasm infectious. Samantha hesitated for a moment, but then she smiled. "That sounds amazing. I'd love to." The trip to the mountains was everything they had hoped for. They hiked through lush trails, laughed around the campfire, and shared stories late into the night. In the serenity of nature, Samantha felt a growing sense of clarity about her feelings for Tom. One evening, as they sat by the fire, the stars twinkling overhead, Tom turned to her. "Samantha, I've realized that I don't just want to be friends. I care about you deeply, and I think we owe it to ourselves to explore where this could go," he said, his voice steady yet vulnerable. Samantha's heart raced at his words. "I feel the same way, Tom, but I also want to be cautious. We've both been through a lot," she replied, searching his eyes for understanding. "I completely agree, but I believe we're in a different place now. And I want to take this chance with you," he said, taking her hand in his. In that moment, under the vast sky filled with stars, Samantha felt a wave of emotions wash over her. She had spent so long guarding her heart, but with Tom she felt something different. A sense of safety and the promise of new beginnings. As the trip came to an end, Samantha and Tom returned home feeling refreshed and invigorated. They had decided to take the leap into a romantic relationship, but with the understanding that they would continue to communicate openly and prioritize their growth. Over the next few months, they navigated their new relationship with care. Samantha found herself happier than she had been in a long time, and Tom was supportive and attentive. They shared adventures, celebrated each other's successes, and learned to face challenges together. One evening, while they were cooking dinner together, Samantha paused to look at Tom. "I know we've been taking things slowly, but I want you to know how much I appreciate having you in my life," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. Tom smiled warmly. "I feel the same way, Sam. I've learned so much about myself since we reconnected, and I'm grateful for every moment we share." As their relationship continued to grow, Samantha and Tom decided to celebrate their journey. With their close friends, they hosted a small gathering, inviting those who had supported them through their ups and downs. During the evening, as they gathered around the table, filled with delicious food and laughter, Samantha felt a sense of belonging. She looked around at the faces of her friends and felt grateful for the love and support they had provided. Later in the evening, Tom raised his glass. "I want to toast to new beginnings and the power of second chances. Samantha, thank you for being patient with me and for allowing me back into your life," he said, his eyes locked onto hers. Samantha felt her heart swell with emotion as she raised her glass. "In response to friendship? Growth and love," she added, her smile bright. As the months turned into a year, Samantha and Tom found themselves building a life together that was filled with laughter, understanding, and shared dreams. They learned to communicate openly about their feelings, and the trust between them deepened. One evening, as they strolled through a beautiful park, Tom turned to Samantha with a serious expression. "I've been thinking a lot about us and our future. I know we've taken things slow, but I can see a life with you. And I want to know if you feel the same way," he said, his voice filled with hope. Samantha felt a rush of joy at his words. "I do, Tom. I can see a future with you too. I've never been happier," she replied, her heart brimming with love. In that moment, they both understood the significance of their journey, how they had navigated their past, faced their fears, and embraced the beauty of new beginnings. With a shared vision for the future, they walked hand in hand, ready to embrace whatever adventures lay ahead. The sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, and Samantha felt a deep sense of gratitude for the paths they had traveled. With love and a renewed sense of purpose, she knew they could face anything together.